Hey everyone, Jeffro here. Thanks for tuning in. Gonna do a little something different with this video. Don't normally do unboxings, but this one's a little bit different. I recently submitted some issues to a company called CGC. They are a company that grades and encapsulates comic books. They give you a grade, they seal it, and supposedly makes it more valuable, depending on the collector you talk to. Some people like graded comics, some people really hate them. They think they're ruining the industry, but I kind of like them, so what are you going to do? One of the things that the company does offer is private signings. Now, you can't just send a comic book to CGC with a signature and they'll grade it and say this was signed by, whoever on whatever date. It doesn't work like that. To them, that's just somebody drew on the cover of the comic book and it's going to get a lower grade. Private signings, or signings that CGC witnesses, can be certified. And they'll get a special label. The company says, yes, this was signed by this person on this date under our witness. And, it makes people that do collect and sell signatures on comic books, gives them the, it lets them know that this was indeed signed by the person I think it was signed by. So, a couple months ago, they announced Chris Claremont was going to do a private signing. He kind of helped introduce the new team, that, Storm, Wolverine, Colossus, Nightcrawler, those folks that had taken over from the original 5 X-Men that had been there for the first 94 issues. So Chris started back then. I'm not sure the date. I'll put it down here, but it's sometime in the 60s. And he wrote through to the end of the 90s when him and Jim Lee kind of had a dispute. Jim Lee was a very hot artist. He could basically write his own ticket. He was drawing the X-Men, but he wanted more input on the story. And Mr. Claremont wasn't a big fan of that. So they kind of parted ways. Chris Claremont retired. Shortly after that, Jim Lee left with the other really hot creators from Marvel and formed Image Comics. That's a very interesting story in and of itself. But at any rate, Chris wrote some of the best stories ever. The Dark Phoenix Saga, Days of Future Past, God Loves, Man Kills. These things are just, staples of the X-Men world. So when they announced he was doing a private signing with them, I had to get on board. Now, the stuff that's in my box of comics that he wrote wasn't going to be worth sending in and having graded. They were reading copies. I read them 30, 40, 50 times sometimes, so they're not great. So I did find a couple of really nice, clean, near mint copies online. One online and one from local comic book store, Heroes Comics, Fresno, California. Dave, you rock. And they came back today. So I'm going to cut to an unboxing video. I'm going to take them out of the box. There's only 2 of them. It's very short. In fact, I think this intro is kind of longer. But I'm very excited about it. He is the writer who made me fall in love with comics. I had read comic books before finding Chris Claremont's X-Men, but that really sealed it. And in fact, there's a special connection to one of the issues that I'll talk about in the unboxing. But I hope you enjoy it. Made me very happy getting this box today. I'm going to be getting 3 more boxes from CGC from another private signing that we'll talk about at that time. So yeah, I hope you enjoy the unboxing, and thanks for watching. So let's get right into it. Been waiting for these to come back for a few months now. Sent them in March. Oh boy, here we go. Nicely packed. All right, so here we go. X-Men 186, graded at a 9.6, signed by Mr. Chris Claremont on, looks like 4/20. Nice. So I bought this actually from Heroes Comics. It was in pretty good shape, but I still had them press it and clean it because you'll almost always get a better grade if you get it pressed and cleaned. Also, it's got the custom label on it, and you can see the info here. Of course, the signature. He's always been the father of my X-Men, so I'm very happy about that. 9.6, what can you do? There's some flaws in it, but still. But we have this 9.8, which I'm very happy about. This is actually the first X-Men issue I read. I think Desmond had it, or I read it at the supermarket off the spinner rack. I don't remember. It was 30 years ago, 36 years ago. But this issue has always been special to me because of that. Havoc comes back and joins the team, but doesn't really know who any of these people are. They're not the X-Men he remembers. And as a new reader, this shit was confusing. Didn't know who any of these people were, but I thought they looked really cool. And flipping through the art was really cool. And I was hooked from day one. Became an X-Men fan. So again, we've got the custom label, 9.8, signed on 4/20 by Mr. Chris Claremont. So there we go. These are my first submissions to CGC. I've got graded comics, but these are the first ungraded comics I've sent in to have graded. I've got 3 more out there with the company right now for a signing of James Tynion, who is writing Something is Killing the Children and the Department of Truth. And he had a memorable stint on Batman, I'm told. But those will be coming, actually getting one on Monday. And then I'm not sure about the other 2 because their status on the website still says ready for grading. So I don't know what grade those got yet. The one Monday coming is a 9.8, so I'm very happy about that. But so there we go. My first Chris Claremont signed submissions to the comics grading company, CGC, and I'm pretty happy. 9.8 and a 9.6. That's not too shabby. That's near mint in both cases. 9.9s and 10s are extremely rare. Very, very rare. It's very rare to find a comic book without a single defect, but they do exist. I do not have any because they're usually very expensive. But at any rate, thanks for watching. And if you have any questions about the grading process or anything related to comics or X-Men, or even where to get started if you want to start reading X-Men. So there we go. I hope that was fun. I enjoyed it. It, like I said, wasn't very long, not a whole lot to unbox, but that stuff I've been waiting for months because the turnaround time on private signings is long. I sent the copies in March. The signing was in April, and I just got them back today. But here they are again. I am very happy indeed. So if you're into comics, if you're not aware of graded comics, this is what they are. They're a nice hard plastic seal. They've got their own little protective bag, but you can see they're just they're protected from the elements. But I found out recently, not waterproof, so be careful. But again, thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.